Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to do another one of these little videos where I show you one orchid. It seemed popular last week, people seem to like it. So this is going to be another video on a must-have miniature. This is one of my Ecuador order plants and it is now in bloom. I know you can't quite see it in there, but that's because I haven't turned it this way yet. And if we look at this, this is my Lepanthes Telipogoniflora, I think is how you pronounce it. And anyways, a beautiful little plant. I'm going to bring it out and we're going to see it. I got to this container idea from a viewer who recommended putting it in a little glass bowl, I believe. So I did this with the container and it has been working quite nicely for me. I'm going to have to trim back the baby's tears already because it's growing so fast. But it was just a good way. This is a warm growing plant, so it's in the warm side of the greenhouse there on the other side of the wall. And it gets nighttime lows down to about 65 Fahrenheit or about 18 Celsius there for you guys. I'm just going to bring this beauty out to show you. So this is one of my favorite miniature orchids. Hopefully I can hold this still enough for you to get a good shot. It just wiggles with the slightest movement. Beautiful little thing. You can see from my thumbnail how big this really truly is. But it's just been doing fantastic in the container there. I'm just going to try that. I don't know if that's going to work either. It's not going to give you any better of a view. It'll give you a view of the leaves. So you can see lots of new growth on it. So it seems to be happy in its little container, at least for the winter. I commonly see these plants growing in aquariums inside people's homes, not so much in greenhouses. My greenhouse gets so dry that it's really hard for these little tiny guys to stay wet. So this was a really efficient way to keep it moist. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the summertime yet because these containers will be death traps if the sun comes out, and it is on the warm side of the greenhouse. Although maybe for the summer it's going to become on the cool side of the greenhouse, who knows. I don't like that. That's not going to work for us. Maybe I can just hang it right on. There we go. Look at that. I'll hang it right on the outside of the container. Then we can really see it. So yeah, it came to me, and I've got about 6 new leaves on it. This gets a little bit of sun when the sun is out, and there's not a lot of sun these days, so it might get a couple hours a day of sunshine. And the sun is not very bright, and it's not very intense. There we go. Look at that. A beautiful little plant. And so it's sort of dappled sun for a small portion of the day and then in shade for the rest of the day. I take the lid off when I think about it in the daytime, but I make sure the lid's back on at nighttime because the heating system is on the warm side and the heating system really dries out the air. So I like this guy to be nice and moist for the nighttime. And I'm just going to bring him even closer if I can. I don't know what kind of shot we can really get here. But anyways, yeah, so I close it up for the nighttime and then try to open him up again in the mornings if I can. If I don't think about it, he seems to be fine. He seems to be okay. Daytime temperatures on the warm side this time of year are only getting to about 27 Fahrenheit or 27 Celsius, about 80 Fahrenheit, because it is basically wintertime now. We're almost at the darkest day of the year, which is great because then we can only start getting brighter. So that's fantastic. And yeah, I have drilled some holes in the back of this container so that it actually, the little wire piece that is right there goes through those slots. It took me a few slots to get the height right, but it needs a few little air holes in here too anyway, so that's fine. There's some drain holes in the bottom so the moss doesn't stay super wet, but it is super low maintenance in this little container. I've only had to water it a few times, as opposed to if this was out in the open, I would have to water this like twice a day. We are so zoomed in because this is such a miniature plant. You can see how big the flower is compared to my thumbnail there. And it's really big for the size of the actual plant itself because the leaves are like half that size. This little cork board that it is on just rests in the bed of moss in the bottom and wicks the water up from the larger supply of moss. So it means I'm not always having to keep this little tiny tablespoon size amount of moss wet all the time. It just stays nicely moist from this little setup that I did. So I'm going to zoom us out and put it back in this little setup. But again, I'll show you the tag there in case you didn't catch my pronunciation of it. There we go. Cute little warm growing miniature orchid. Now, not just good for your home, it does need to be in some sort of terrarium for moisture purposes here. Let's see if I can find the hole that it went in. As you can see, I'm just inserting it through and just kind of pinching it down again, so it assures it's not going to go very far. Right there. And it just sits back down in there. So the container is a little bit overkill for size, but it's better to have a little bit bigger container than smaller container for it, I think. And yeah, cool little Lepanthes orchid, must have miniature. Again, normally I'm trying to achieve in a big sort of airy greenhouse what you grow in sort of a terrarium, vivarium, fish tank style environment. So this way it just keeps it a little bit more humid for me, and it works great for the winter. I will have to update you guys as the weather gets warmer, and this guy is going to get in this container more and more volatile. I may have to, as I say, keep him quite shaded, put him down quite low, make sure he's not in direct sun, even though he needs to be kept warm. So I hope you liked this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching.